Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast and sea to shining sea. Welcome back to the Shack. It's Ham Radio Live. Well, let's do it one more time around the park. What do you say? We'll be back. Just a little break, that's all. Please subscribe. We don't monetize the channel. There's tons of shows here to help you get licensed as well. You know, probably, I think there's over 500 questions and answers within all the shows here. So if you want to get your ham radio license, I hope it helps you. It's not a substitute for your study, but it can help you get your ham radio license to get yourself on the air. And that's the whole big deal here. That's what we're trying to do. So thank you very much for coming, wherever you're coming from around the world. It's truly an honor and joy. This is show number 206. No joke, 206. Thank you very much for the thumbs up, for all the likes, and for everything you do for me. I appreciate it, and believe me, it does not go unnoticed. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Shack here. It is May the 8th, 2021. It's a Sunday. It's a beautiful day here. Beautiful day. A little bit humid, but it's not too bad. Hi, welcome. A little late today. Miley took me on a long walk around the park, and it's May 9th. Sorry, May 9th. Long walk to the park. I'm like, gotta go. Gotta do the show. But there you go. We just, we got here. That's the main thing. Welcome, everybody, from around the world Sunday. Good to see you. Hey, good to see y'all. Okay, so before we do hellos and all that stuff, and thank you for coming, by the way. You know, it's just going to be a short break. I'm just going to take a couple of weeks off just to get feeling better. It's hard. You know, there's things I don't want to tell you that are kind of embarrassing to say that are going on, but I do want you to know that it's not going to be a long break, okay? We're just going to take a little bit of time and get feeling better, legs underneath us again, and ready to go, because literally it takes about 5 hours to do this show every day. About 90 minutes in pre-production work. That's the stuff you see before when you watch the show. All that stuff is planned, of course, and it's got to be put together. And then, of course, the show, which takes about another hour. And then on top of that, you got a title, describe it, and tag it, which takes about another 30 minutes. And then I get to listen to it and kick myself for the next 6 or 7 days and make sure, for all the mistakes that I make. There you go. All right, welcome to everybody around the world. Thank you for being here. First, Gunter in the house, all the way from Germany, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, he comes all the way in from the German frontier. His call sign is Delta Kilo 5, Oscar November Victor. He likes to be known as Delta Kilo 5, One Nice Voice. Find him on a DX frequency near you, because Gunter plays DX and he's good at it. Welcome, Gunter from Germany. Good to see you, man. Mike, welcome. Yeah, I'm okay. It's just weird. Part of it, honestly, is it's from neurosurgery, and what happened was I've got an infection from it, and on top of that, I got the COVID shot. That was brilliant. So I get the COVID shot on top of all that, and then I get sick. It's great. It's wonderful. Exactly. So when you're not feeling well, and then you jab yourself with this vaccine and you get the side effects, it's like, oh, it's a train wreck. So it's been tough to keep going. And so right now it's like, okay, back off. Doctor said that. He says, look, man, just back off. Just take it easy for a couple of weeks. Rest. It's okay to rest. And today, first time I have slept in 5 months. No joke. No joke. I mean, I really slept in. It was great. Gosh, it felt great. Eric is here. Hi, Eric. Good to see you. It's been a while, buddy. Kilo 3, Echo Lima Golf. Welcome, Eric. It's great to see you, man. You changed your emoji. That's sweet. So those cards, those are pretty cool. That's a nice looking emoji. I like that. Thank you so much. And Mike, thank you for coming in here from Europe. Will Myers is here from the state of Wisconsin. He's a Badger guy, and he's a good guy, too. Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India. Mike, welcome, William. Good to see you, man. Thank you. Yep. Robbie is here. Hi, Rob. Good to see you, man. Happy Sunday. Whiskey 8. Romeo Bravo Yankee. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much. And Kent, my goodness. Kent, thank you. First time I've seen you here. Kilo 4. Foxtrot India X-Ray. That's the coolest call sign, man. Seriously, look at that. KA4 Fix. That's awesome, man. That's an awesome call. I love that. All right, we're going to welcome everyone from around the world. I want to thank you. And again, this is just going to be a short break. And one thing, I got a couple of people email me saying, hey, did you see there's a new YouTube channel that kind of does what you do? And yeah, I got a little blurb of it. Someone sent me a link, and I'm like, okay, that's great. Imitation is a sincerest form of flattery. So, hey, knock yourself out. If you want to do YouTube shows, cool. I think it's great. We've got to get people interested in ham radio. The only thing I just think of YouTube, and this is my own personal thoughts, the more the merrier on YouTube to help people with ham radio, because really we all have different ways to talk, teach, and show. All of us do. But just keep it clean. Don't go showing half, naked girls and a whole bunch of foul language. It just isn't necessary. We're not gonna reach a younger audience, kids, meaning young people like Stu's son Fozzie. We're not gonna reach them by putting those things on our shows. So just keep it clean. Make sure you keep it clean, on topic. Make it fun. Make it funny, and it'll be great. You'll do great at it. So I just wonderful. All right, let's get into it. My brother downstairs. My goodness, Bob, courtesy of WIFI, what's known as the Wi-Fi here, and also Rod. Well done from West Salem, working on a call sign right now. He's Kilo Juliet 7 Romeo Kilo Bravo, and he's working on getting that down. Rod? Did you find out? Did you get that other call? You emailed me about that other call that kind of has your granddaughter's in it. I love that call, man. You should do that call. So serious about that. And Rod, we're going to be talking on repeater here. Seriously, we're going to do that. We need to do that here next week. I'm not getting off ham radio. I'm still going to be on the air. I'm just going to take some time and have a little fun. It's time to do that, because when you got 5 hours invested in a show every day and a family to take care of and your own health problems, it's like, no. My doctor, his first question was just, what are you, crazy? What are you doing this for? This is stupid. I said, yeah, okay. And anyway, so it's good to see you guys. We're going to have a fun day today. Today's going to be a fun show. It's not to say goodbye. You need to understand that. This is not the end of the show. It's just a break, okay? Because I do them every day. I've done them for a long time every day, and I've taken a few breaks. Yes, of course. We had a vacation. We had, a time where I had 14 teeth pulled. So, but I did the show the very next day, too. So, there are times where I have taken breaks. But folks, in 8 months, there's over 215 shows here. And I'm grateful for some people who've been a part of that. I want to personally thank all of you, first of all. Thank you for coming. It has truly been, and when I say my honor and privilege, I mean that. That's not just me saying a word or something is written down here. I mean that. Okay, thank you very, very much. I also want to thank Martin F. Jew from MFJ for his kindness. And they're trusting a guy that had 37 subscribers and really nothing to offer them to take a look at an antenna, really, and review it and try and get a good fix on it compared to my experience with using loop antennas when I was in shortwave. And I want to thank MFJ and Martin F. Jew for taking a shot on a guy that had no subscribers at the time. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. The show probably wouldn't be here unless you guys had done that. So thank you for that. Also, I want to thank Ray Novak from ICOM. Ray's one of the nicest people. In ham radio, if you do something like this, you should start developing relationships with the manufacturers. Sometimes it doesn't work out. That's life. Just sometimes personalities clash or you don't get along, whatever. My point is, Ray is one of the kindest people in all of ham radio. And there's a reason why ICOM does very well with customers. Ray's part of that reason. Ray Novak from ICOM, one of the best there is in ham radio. Ray, thank you. Thank you, Ray. Yep. Along with Richard Stubbs, MFJ. Richard, you're my mate, man. You're a good guy. A lot of folks have helped along this path, a lot of them. And we'll go through a montage here in a little bit about the shows, how it started. Man, do you realize this show started with unboxing a Yaesu FTDX 101 MP with my dog? No joke. And then it just built up from there. It's unbelievable. We went through smoke and fire. We've went through a trip to Hawaii. We've went through Christmas and New Year's together. We've spent some good time together here on the channel. I want to celebrate that today with you. Also, going to do the question of the day, which is your greatest accomplishment in ham radio. What's the greatest accomplishment you ever had? Let's talk about it today. If you'd like to get into ham radio, we'd love to have you join us. It's not a nerdy hobby. Seriously. If you like iPhones or Androids or tablets, you would so dig a ham radio today. They are so cool. They really are. It's not like this little radio with a giant knob and the old little dial going back and forth. No. These are fantastic radios. And they've got great color touchscreens, wonderful sound. And the cool part is, think of it like a treasure hunt, right? You're trying to find the signal, trying to hear the person from a long ways away. That person could be 5,000 miles away in a remote jungle, or they could be in an urban environment 7,000 or 8,000 miles away. Please contact one of these radio groups I'm going to give you on the channel here coming up. Either the American Radio Relay League, which can be found at www.arrl.org. They'll help you get on the ham radio path and help you get licensed. They're a great group of people, okay? If you're in Japan, contact the Japan Amateur Radio League, that's JARL. Find them at www.jarl.org. Our mates in the UK, wonderful people there, and one of the best ham radio groups in the world. Find the Radio Society of Great Britain online at www.rsgb.org. And in Canada, yep, they got a group up there, and they're very, very good at what they do. Radio Amateurs of Canada at www.rac.ca. And for our mates down under, the Australian Communications and Media Authority, they can be found at www.acma.gov.au, and there you go. If you want to email the show, I'll still be looking at the show email from time to time. Not every day. Just gonna, again, this is a break, so it's not going to be every day. But hey, I'll see if I can answer your email as fast as I can, and we'll communicate together. Okay? Welcome to the show. Good to see everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. All right, we'll take a look quickly at your comments, and we'll go through the topic question, greatest joy you've ever had in ham radio. I appreciate you all coming from around the world today. Eric from Pennsylvania, older International Harvester ones is 74, and the other, I think, is 83. That's pretty cool. Rod with his call sign update. I'm interested to see this. Have several call applications lined up with the FCC. We'll know soon. Let me know on that. Will you, Rod? I know you're close on stuff. Sean, join us east from the Cascades in Oregon. Good to see you, Sean. Well, I got 3 Oregonians here. Nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. It will. Yeah, just getting some time away and relax. Tom from Bahrain, good to see you. Alpha Echo 1, Tom Papa. If you are an amateur radio operator, sooner or later you will own something from MFJ, having ran the others on the shows. Well, thank you. That's very kind. And this is a nice comment from Tom in Bahrain. It was very kind. Thank you, Tom. And credit to all of them, from Mike Walker at Flex to Ray Novak at ICOM and Eric Schwartz at Elecraft, all those folks. Thank you very much to all of them for coming on. We appreciate it. We'll show you a little snippet of that coming up here in a little bit. Gunter from Germany says greatest accomplishment on ham radio was his very first contact into China ever from his portable setup. Now that's a pretty cool thing. When you set up a radio somewhere in a park, or maybe it's outdoors in front of your house. Could be something simple like that, right? And it's interesting. When you do that in a public place, if you've got like your radio and you got your antenna, right? And then you're working near where people are. The people that come ask the most amazing questions. And they're like, oh, I didn't know a ham radio looked like that. That's the number one thing I heard in Hawaii. I didn't know they looked like that. They were really impressed. So seriously, I can understand, Tom, Gunter, that's a great accomplishment. Getting all the way to China with his first portable setup. That's pretty darn cool. Absolutely. Martin, welcome from the Netherlands. He's here from Holland. His call sign, Pop Echo 9, Tango India Golf, working the night shift. Thinking of Marvin Gaye now, the song Night Shift. Great song. Yeah, great song. All right, so greatest accomplishment, best thing you ever did in ham radio, something that just totally blew you away. I remember mine, it was my first VK call. I was so excited because I had 2 goals, VK and UK. Isn't that funny? Separated by 1 letter. Anyway, my first VK call woke the family up at 3 a.m. Told you a story before. That's a true story. It's an honest, true story. It was about 3 a.m. I woke the family up, and everybody's running in thinking I had a conniption fit, a stroke, or possibly fell on my face. But I was so thrilled to get that VK call, finally to make a call with a mate in Australia. I'll never forget that. That was very special to me. That was, I think, 7,450 miles, if I remember right. Long call. And with 100 watts, by the way. So people with 100 watts and no amplifier. That was with a wire antenna, too. That was a dipole antenna. The ZS6 BKW at 48 feet. I was on my roof, literally on my roof. So 48 feet, ZS6 BKW strung out both sides and all the way to Australia. No problem. 5.9 both ways. I was blown away. It was a VK. So yeah, true. That's my biggest. And then the other thing was, it was the day after my birthday in 2019. My birthday was over. It's June 7th. So June 8th, think of it this way. My birthday ends on June 7th. Just right about midnight of my birthday, at the end, I go for a walk, right? Because I'm stretching out before I go to bed. And I checked the FCC database. Now, I had put in the application for K7HN, and literally at midnight on the 8th of June, the day after my birthday, literally stroke of midnight, on the FCC database, there it was, K7HN in my name. Yeah, that was pretty special. And I literally was screaming in the neighborhood, and I was, thinking afterwards, that was kind of stupid. People may be calling the cops now, thinking you're an idiot. Yeah, I was just thrilled to get the call sign. Tom, greatest accomplishment, hard to pick one, but I will say from the beach, 100-watt vertical antenna, Bahrain to Alaska. That is one holy moly of a call, Tom. My gosh. Wow. I'm just looking at the map. This is the geochron. My gosh. What is that? Like 7,000? 6,500? That's got to be like at least 6,000 miles, Tom. That's an amazing accomplishment, folks. That really is. Think about that for perspective. And this is so important because the channel is really developed to help people. We have done test questions or help with test questions since show 22. Did you know that? Show number 22 is when all that started, way back. So the passion here is always to help people get licensed. So when I talk about ham radios and like 100 watts, right? People think 100 watts isn't very much, or they dream of amplifiers. Truly, get a better antenna. Don't spend the money for an amplifier. If you get a great antenna first, it's going to cover for the amplifier because it's going to amplify your signal with gain. You see, that 100 watts doesn't really sound like 100 watts. If you've got like 6 or 7 dB of gain, now all of a sudden that antenna sounds more like it's about 600 to 800 watts of power just with the antenna. And you can steer it, make sure you can hear it things better as well. You can tune away from stations that are causing you QR Mary, and you'll hear better. So really, don't dream of amplifiers, dream of better antennas. That'll make a big difference for you. So, all right, Gunter, Aruba, Jamaica, want to take your Bermuda. Okay, so he's playing a little bit of music in his head right now. Gunter taking a little bit of a fiesta. You remember the song by the Beach Boys? It's pretty funny. Yeah. All right. So we're going to take a look through the shows way back to the very beginning. It's funny, but I do want to go over the current news and information for you from around the world. Okay. First of all, there's going to be a webinar coming up here, and I'll have the description. Okay. In the description section of this video, I'll have the link to this and every one of these news stories. Okay. All right. The IEEE Committee on Man and Radiation, COMAR. What a terrible thing. Are you a COMAR? Anyway, they've issued an invitation for all of us to their webinar, RF Exposure in the Time of Conspiracies. Ooh, creepy. The 1-hour event set to get underway at 1800 UTC this Wednesday. So if you want information about that, talking about RF exposure and, making sure you're within limits, I'll have the link to this in the description section. FCC, brand new rules for new licensees is in effect now. And basically what this says is from now on, you need to make sure and have an FRN number. Okay. That's going to be given to you up front, an FRN. And you just apply with the FCC to get one. That's how you do it. But you've got to also have a good and valid email address. The FCC is going to confer with you by email now, and they're not going to be putting paper licenses in the mail any longer. So they're going to be sending that information via email. So you're going to have a good email address and an FRN number before you go to take your license. This is very important information from the FCC. New folks coming into ham radio in the United States, you must contact the FCC, get that FRN number and a valid email to get yourself started, okay? In Germany, yep, I'm going to say this probably very wrong. Friedrichshafen, going to be a big one. This is Europe's biggest amateur radio fair. Now, it's not going to take place in Friedrichshafen this year because of the coronavirus. However, it's going to be digital. Yeah. You can actually take part in this from June 25th, June 27th. It's not going to be there in Friedrichshafen this year, but it's going to be at home on your screen. Virtual world based on the original fairgrounds. This is really cool sounding. So if you want to really go through a great ham fair with speakers and information about products and stuff like that, Friedrichshafen, going to be great. It's going to be June 25th through 27th, 21. We'll have a link in the description below on how you can take part in Europe's biggest ham radio fair, all right? Field days that same weekend here in the U.S., June 26th, June 27th. Get ready with new gear. Get yourself on the air in the, out in your backyard. You could be out in the park. You could be out in at the seashore, in the mountains. It's the whole point of field day, taking your radio out on the road and working it somewhere, right? Field day going to be coming up June 26th, June 27th of this year. Big contest, really is. Also, if you want to get a great book, whether you're in ham or shortwave, this will help you. It really will. Shortwave for listening, going to make a big difference. If you're in the hobby, oh man, you need this. It is a great book to help you not only understand antennas, but build them as well. It's the ARRL antenna book, currently in their 24th edition. So you can find this at your local ham radio retailer, or you can also buy this on Amazon, so amazon.com. RSGB's got a great license manual. Go for full, you can go for advanced, you can go for your intermediate or your foundation. They have books for each one of these. Find them on the RSGB website at www.rsgb.com. Propagation right now, we've got an SFI number 73. Keep in mind, these numbers, when they're low, SFI, like this, usually the lowest number you're going to see at an SFI, mid-60s. So we're literally only at 73, not very high. This is not a great number. It's going to get better. We're in the middle of the upswing from solar cycle 24 going down. So we're now we're in the very beginning stages of solar cycle 25. Each day, we have more chance for sunspots. Now, keep in mind, when that happens, we also have more of a chance for coronal mass ejections, also known as solar flares, okay? Those can hurt ham radio. It can cause disruptions on the HF bands like they did on Friday, where literally the whole entire North American continent was attenuated. That's no joke. The entire North American continent just lost connection for just a short time because of the solar flare. So right now, 73, not a great number, but still not too bad. The A index staying steady at 3, K stays steady at 1 from yesterday. The MUF Boulder, when we did this here, was at 19.23 megahertz. What is important in this is take a look on the far right, geomag field, very quiet, very quiet. Why is this important? Too many people look just right there at the top right, HF conditions. Okay, and they see 80 to 4, the band they want to work, right? 80 to 40, 30 to 20, 17 to 15. And they look at those and they say, oh, it's fair today. I don't want to turn my ham radio on. That is a big mistake. You should not do that. Look at this as a guide, not as a reason for turning your radio on or off, okay? Look down below, geomagnetic field, very quiet, signal to noise level at S0 to S1. Folks, that's great for DX. That's great for DX work, okay? What this means is tonight, literally on 20 meters, you're going to be able to make calls. You will. Trust me on that. I've seen it too many times. You go on, 20 meters, 11 o'clock at night, and you're going to be able to hear people from all over the world, and it's going to blow you away. It really will. So what I'm trying to say to you is, don't let this be the reason that you either don't turn your radio on or don't try. Because last night's a great example of this. Okay, I'll play you a video, actually just an audio clip of what was going on last night on the bands. And this is on 20 meters from last night. It'll give you a good idea of the reason why you don't just look at this and say, well, I guess things are poor. We're not going to use it today. Okay. Here was 20 meters last night at 11:45 p.m. Now, this is 2.5 hours after sunset, and it continued until after 2 a.m. Here's a snippet. And we're trying to play this snippet, and we'll get it in. Hang on a second. Here it is. This is 20 meters at 11:30 last night in North America.
Echo 51 Juliet Alpha on frequency.
There's Spain. That's Spain coming in North America.
Right, there's an Italy uniform, please.
Changing frequency.
Roger, Roberta, and Rome, thank you for the chain over 9. You are 5757 into the island of Rarotonga. This Cook Islands. The name is Jim. Over.
Hear that? Rarotonga, South Cook Islands, 20 meters. All right, so that gives you a great idea, right? That's 20 meters last night after 11:30. And give you an idea, not only was South Cook Islands coming in 5.7, so was Germany, so was Spain, so was UK. So there were a lot of signals last night. Think of daytime, where it's daytime, right? Daytime in Europe at that point, but in North America, it's dark. That's why we don't use 20 at night. Don't make the forecast fool you. When you see an S0 to an S1 noise floor, it means it's quiet. When it's quiet, DX comes in, even with a 73 SFI. Turn your radio on tonight, 20 meters. It will blow your mind. Solar indexes coming up. 76 is what they're talking about coming up later today. So a 76 means we're getting the solar numbers back up, and that's going to be great. If you're in Europe, you should be able to make a decent call in 20 meters tomorrow, right about high noon. So right about noon, this is for Morse code, but SSB, just tighten up a little bit. You're going to make good calls on SSB, all right? Trivia question for today. Some radio stations use water for cooling transmitters. A good example of this, if you ever get a chance, see Randy. Randy made a great video, W7AGE. Randy made a great video from WLW in Cincinnati on their 500,000 watt transmitter. No joke. Had cooling ponds with fountains in it and stuff like that. It's a brilliant video, truly is. That's Randy at K7AGE. Find him here on YouTube. Anyway, some radio stations use water for cooling transmitters. Besides cooling, what else was the water used for? Okay, look at the four answers you can choose from here, okay? A, the water was used in a wet radial system. B, the water dirty was used for irrigation. C, the water was used to heat the station / shack and building. Or D, the water was used for firefighting. Okay, pick one of the four, hit me up with your comments, and we'll let you know exactly what the answer is, okay? Let's look at your comments. My goodness, you guys are active as heck. Gunter's in the house, and that means there's going to be lots of typing and talking to people, so we'll get back in touch with all of you guys on the comment section. Thanks for being here, wherever you are. Wow, lots of folks. Lots of folks. Thank you. So, let's see. Good. Let me go. Hold on. Digital Analog Ham, welcome back. Good to see you. Happy Sunday to you. Thank you for coming to the show. Appreciate it very much. All right, let's see. We've got Will Myers' biggest accomplishment so far, getting back into amateur radio after a 37-year break. Passed his general license a couple months ago, getting his antenna, mast, rotor, and station set up. You are, and it's beautiful too. Will, show me some photos of that. Will, it's going to be beautiful. Yeah, great. Your takeoff angle, by the way, on that antenna should be brilliant. Yeah, you should have some brilliant takeoff, the direction where you got the slope. And it's just going to be beautiful. He's right by a lake. Oh, perfect spot for an antenna. Eric, Kilo 3, Echo Lima Golf, one of his favorites was getting his name called for a special event station in California. It was broadcast here live. That's funny. Well, thank you. That's nice. I'm just a normal dude, man. Thank you very much, Eric. Sean, Echo India 7, Echo back. Greatest accomplishment was after 23 years as a ham radio operator, I finally got an African station. You got a ZS, Republic of South Africa. Oh boy. Yep. ZS8, 35 watts on 40 meters using, JS8, had a great 20-minute QSO. Well done to ZS. Man, that's awesome, Sean. Congratulations on that. That's amazing. Wow. So Will's working on his antenna, and we've got folks from all over the world coming here. Sam, thank you. From Victor Kilo 5, Mike Sierra Alpha, it is an honor, mate. Thanks for being here. South Australia, love your show. Thank you. Oh, man. Thank you, Sam. Sam, we'll be back. Just going to take just 2 to 3 weeks off. I just need to do that. So we'll get there. Rod, his greatest accomplishment was passing both tests the same day. He went from technician to extra in one shot. Well done. And it was during the ice storm. Oh, no. That was the ice storm that broke 2 antennas I had, including the AV6A, just snapped it. But we lost trees, power lines, and we had places in our area that were out of power for days, literally. I mean, there was areas of Salem, which is the state capital of Oregon, that were out of power for over a week. That was one of the worst ice storms we've ever had here, so it's pretty bad. All right, Nikolai joining us from Romania. Welcome, Nikolai. Good to see you, buddy. Hello. And let's see, Mike, last night, Rarotonga, 20 meters at 2230, and I went to bed complaining about the QRN at 2300. Such is life. Mike, AA7, Mike, Oscar, that's brilliant. Thanks, man. That's funny. It's right around 11:30. You start to hear these things come in. And, there's one guy who's mentioned that. He's I think a 6 station or a 7. But he said, I just can't believe how the band is holding up. It was the same way Friday. So, seriously, tonight, turn your radio on. If you're in Europe right now, it's dark, so don't be afraid to go on 20 meters. You might just hear a ton of mates calling you from the UK, US, or all of a sudden you're going, whoa, there's the US. What are they doing here on 20? No joke. I'm not kidding. Don't be afraid to do that. Tom, WAPE, Mighty 690. Yeah, the Grease Man. That was funny stuff. Yeah. Grease Man was like the first shock jock. He was way before, any of the shock jocks that you had, you have now, like, some of the people out of New York City, Imus and, gosh, I'm trying to think of them now. Imus was one of the 70s and 80s, and Howard Stern. Anyway, he was just funny. He was like, he had this weird style where he would talk and go, you didn't know if he was throwing up or trying to do trying to talk. He was funny. He had a great bit. That was his style. He was the Grease Man, and he was funny. He was in Jacksonville, went to Washington, D.C., had a nice career. So he's talking about that here when he says WAPE out of Jacksonville, Florida. Good station. That was a lot of fun back then. Let's take a look. Don't forget the trivia question today, which is, some radio stations use water for cooling transmitters, and they did, right? To keep them cool, keeps those tubes cool. Besides cooling, what else wasn't the water used for? So what else was used for that water besides cooling those transmitter tubes? Was it A, the water was used in a wet radial system, B, the water dirty was used for irrigation, C, the water was used to heat the station/shack building, or D, the water was used for firefighting? Go ahead and let me know in the comments section. I'll let you know when we get someone answers it right. Glenn from Australia, by VK Mate. Glenn, we're going to make that call, brother. We are, man. Made it today, mate. The dogs have been fed, and I have my coffee, too. It's good to see you. Welcome to today's show. We're going to go through a little montage from the channel. This is not to do anything about puffing up my chest. It's to show you how far we've come together. We've come a long ways. It's only 8 months, but my gosh, over 215 shows, a long ways. Let's take a look from the very beginning to how the show evolved over time.
Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name is Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November.
To show,
welcome to what I think is the most important ham radio live show ever.
This show right here literally had the most comments and the most pushback and the most anger from hams because they don't understand loop antennas.
If you're running a vertical or a dipole antenna, that doesn't include you directional folks, okay? If you're running a vertical or a dipole, though, you should be using a received loop antenna. I'm going to show you proof why. Watch the S meter and the waterfall. Just give me 3 minutes. That's all I ask. Here's the rig cam on 40 meters. It could be any ham band. It doesn't matter which one. It will always be the same. Now, on the 101 MP that I use, you can see there's no noise reduction whatsoever. It'd be lit up. Something over here would be lit up if it was, but there's no lights. There's the waterfall and a full view of the S meter. This is on a ZS6 BKW dipole antenna at 48 feet. So we're right about S1 to S3, which means 6 to 12 dB of noise is filtering in. But what if we move to the MFJ 1788 receive transmit loop antenna? Look at that.
That's it right there. Yeah.
Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name is Larry. My call sign.
We had smoke. You can see the window.
November.
It's orange because the sky was bright orange at this point.
Welcome to the smoke zone.
Woo!
Let me show you what life has been like around my QTH. It'll blow your mind. This is my G5RB modified. It's a ZS6 BKW.
That was actually the sky at high noon. No joke. Not modified. That's exactly what it looked like here.
That photo was taken.
You can see the light that's on in the shack at top left. That's where the studio is.
A little gravelly.
That's where I do the shows. There you go. Show 50.
Wherever you may be. My name's Larry, and my call sign is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Welcome back to my shack. This is Ham Radio Live number 50.
And on show number 100, we met one of the legends of all of ham radio, Martin F. Jew, Mr. MFJ.
I left from Hollandale, Mississippi, where I grew up. I'm born in Vicksburg, Mississippi. But I came up here to Starkville, to Mississippi State University, to get an electrical engineering degree. And then I went to Georgia Tech to get a master's degree in electrical engineering. And then I went back home and ran the family grocery store for a little while. And
That's
then I
Martin F.
took a
Jew, one of the
job
most
and
humble
worked for about
people
a
in all of
year.
ham radio. Find that at show number
One evening,
100.
I got
Then
it.
all of a sudden, it was Christmas, and we spent Christmas Eve together.
Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name's Larry. Welcome to my ham shack. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. A very special Christmassy greeting to everyone.
Then we get all the way the next day, because I want to make sure people weren't lonely on Christmas Day. No one should be lonely on Christmas. It's kind of like the song, no one should be alone on Christmas. Well, I don't think anybody should be alone on Christmas. So tried to do a QSO party, and in so, made a call with Fred from the show all the way to Delaware.
QSL, yeah, I've got you about a 2-2 here into Oregon too, but I can make it out. Actually, probably a 3x2. I can make you out pretty well, Fred. Thank you so much for making the call. This one's special to me because it's our first. What a treat. My goodness. Alpha Charlie 3, Lima Zulu. I'll wait for your final. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. God bless you. Merry Christmas, Fred. What a treat.
So that was a great QSO with Fred from the channel, and that was one of those times very special. Whenever I make a call with one of you, it always means a great deal to me. Sincerely, it does. I mean that. So that was a special one for me because it was with Fred, and it was on Christmas Day. Then we had a great chance because one of the viewers that's here on the channel from time to time, he's from Pennsylvania. He told us about a new product that was just introduced. Literally, news had just broke. We were the first persons on YouTube, the very first YouTube channel to break this news.
I want to talk to you a little bit also about the brand new Yaesu FTDX 10. Yeah, this is it. Now, this was just announced yesterday. I want to personally take a moment to thank Jim McCusker, who came on the show last night during CQ Calling. By the way, CQ Calling every Friday night at 17:30 Pacific. Jim's call sign is Kilo 3 Yankee Oscar. He's from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And he told us the news that this product was just introduced, and it was. It literally just was introduced. The news broke from Yaesu yesterday. Now,
So
this is
that was the introduction, basically the announcement that the FTDX 10 was coming, and it was to come in about 2 or 3 weeks, and it did. And of course, it's a pretty popular radio, but we were blessed to be the first YouTube channel to actually announce it's coming. Then we had New Year's. Now, we couldn't let you spend New Year's Eve by yourself, so New Year's show.
Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. I'd like to welcome you back to my shack here in Northwest Oregon. This is Ham Radio Live, show number 112, a very special New Year's Eve 2021 edition.
Yeah, so that was New Year's Eve of 2021. The show changed quite a bit. The show has really changed since opening a box for a radio to where we are today. In fact, the intro music didn't start until January this year. Believe it or not, we've just been using it since January. Take a look, first show with the musical opening.
Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. Welcome back to the shack in Oregon. This is Ham Radio Live.
So we went there.
Wherever you may be.
Look at this. We took you to Hawaii with us.
Man, oh man, oh man. We're here now. Welcome to the island of Maui, here in the middle of the Pacific, almost right in the dead center. And you know, what's interesting about the show is I know the audio levels are going to be a little bit low. I don't have a microphone, but notice I also don't have headphones. I can only see my levels and hope that you guys are hearing well enough. For my tests, I think we're close. This is about as
So
good.
we went to Hawaii together as well. That was a lot of fun. We've done a lot of stuff together. All of us have. And it's been a joy to share my life as well with you. It's been truly a joy. We also try and do a show that's called CQ Calling. It's an homage to shortwave broadcasters. When they used to go on the air way back in the day, this began in the 70s, as far back as I can remember, a lot of stations would first sign on with CQ Calling. CQ Calling. This is Radio Finland, or this is Radio Netherlands, or this is Radio Free Europe, or whatever. That's what they do. So we do a show called CQ Calling, where we try and make calls to people all over the world. Well, we'll give it a shot. Let's see what happens. We'll try and make a few more calls. CQ from Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November calling CQ. CQ, any station, anywhere. We're live on Ham Radio, live on YouTube, streaming to the world about ham radio, and we would love to make a call with you. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November, Kilowatt 7 Hotel November, calling CQ to any station, anywhere, and listening. So we try and make calls and make sure to include you in the shows as best we can, not only for the comments perspective, but also from watching what you do as well, whether it be on YouTube or sending me a video or whatever. If I can put it on, I always try to do that because we celebrate each other here. That's the joy. I think the difference of this channel is really it's about you. It always has been. So it's been an honor to host this. And there's a show. There's still a show. There's a show that's in jail, doggone it. There is. It's the mystery hold-up show. It's being held up for copyright right now. And there's a dispute. I filed a dispute for it. And most likely, I'm going to say 99% chance, it's going to be put back onto YouTube and you'll be able to see it. It's the hidden show. It's the hidden show. For the handful of people that got to see it before YouTube pulled the plug on it so you can't see it, all right, this is show number 203.5. And the reason why it's 203.5 is because the computer crashed in the middle of the stream because there's so much in the computer right now that it just can't handle it all. And it just goes, done, and then I start over again. 203.5 is worth listening to, at least from a perspective, if you've ever been frustrated by contesters, whether, you just want to talk to somebody and all of a sudden they start blasting you on frequency with QRM, or if you're trying to take part in a contest, you'd like to, have some fun with it too. And all of a sudden you got somebody that just jumps within 1 kc of you and they're screaming CQ contest. All right. For those of you who missed that, here's a snippet from that rant. It's on the show that's in jail. Okay. So that means this one might get lost too. I hope it's small enough that YouTube won't zap it for copyright, but here is part of that show that's missing. When it comes back, look for it. It'll be 203.5. It'll have the whole rant. And by the way, this was done live. This is not pre-produced. It was a one-off tightrope walk to hope it would work. And by the grace of God, it did. Hope you enjoy it. Onto a song by BT Express from the early 70s called Do It Till You're Satisfied. So I hope y'all enjoy this. Should be a little different. So from a rant perspective, a little different, all right? All right, let's get into the character here, all right? This is done live, okay? Gotta get that contest, gotta get that certificate in the wall, get that plaque. Can't wait to see it. Oh, my neighbors are gonna be loving that plaque. Gotta get ready. Get the amplifier on. I'm ready to go. Let's get contesting. CQ contest. What? No, I was here first. No, I was here first, man. Shut up, man. CQ contest. QRZ number 110. You're number 110. There you go. So that's part of show 203.5. It's got the contesting rant on it. Uphold is right now is in jail. But by the time we come back, it'll be freed, I'm sure. It should be coming back onto YouTube within the next 7 to 10 days. That's usually what it takes, usually between 3 and 5, but it can take 7 to 10. So if you want to see the full rant and Larry rapping live, you can take a look at that. It's going to be at 203.5. We're going to come back with more of that stuff. By the way, the Friday rant we're going to keep that. The next one is going to be on the person that doesn't know when to turn the radio off. That's the person that can't change frequency because he's going to get involved in an argument verbally with somebody that's, maybe 500 miles away. But doggone, he's going to have his way. He's angry. So he's going to keep the radio on and start cursing. That's the next rant. We'll do that when we come back. All right. It's pretty funny. I've got it done. in terms of everything set up for it, ready to go. It's going to be done and it'll be zapped by copyright. So make sure you're here to see it live. Otherwise, it's going to be disappearing for probably 7 to 10 days before it comes back. It's going to be done to Queen's Radio Gaga. So it'll be a lot of fun. When you think about it, people who can't turn the radio off don't have the self-control to do so, right? They act like babies. They got to hurry and argue with somebody because they just aren't big enough to either change the frequency or turn it off. So they get Radio Gaga, which makes total sense to that. All right. Trivia question. Some radio stations used water for cooling transmitters. Besides cooling, what else was the water used for? We do actually have a very correct answer. Will Myers, Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India Mike said, I'm going to guess heating. He is correct. Ding, ding, ding. The water was used to heat the shack and building. That's the correct answer, Will. Congratulations. You're the big winner on that one. Well done. Yeah. You know, ham radio has developed so many technologies. If you think about it, we're the first ones to do text messaging. We're the very first. Text messaging came because of ham radio, period. It did. We're the first ones to send photos with text messages. That's SSTV or packet, okay? We're the first ones to make long calls all over the world, right? We can do that with our microphones, with our keyboards. Ham radio is the first of a lot of things. First ones to use broadcasts off of satellites. Ham radio were the ones who did that. Ham radio was people also who developed the 3 megahertz to 30 megahertz spectrum for HF. We're the ones. Yeah, nobody wanted it. Nobody. When it came out, when they first realized that spectrum and how it worked, that it was going off the ionosphere, nobody cared. Nobody. And it took some very smart amateurs to develop some transmitters to realize that, hey, through a spark gap transmitter, I can make a call and look, it's going 1,000 miles or 4,000 miles away to a receiver way over in another continent. And then it grew. And once it started to grow, governments got latched into it, realizing the power of that spectrum and how they could transmit their news or propaganda or whatever all over the world. And shortwave was born. That's how it all started. But it started with ham radio, okay? So remember, when you are on the ham bands, you're doing something very historic, part of many technological advancements that all began in ham radio, because people in ham radio just simply always find a way to make it done. That's what they do. You're part of a great group of people, and we would love to make sure you're part of this group. If you're not in ham radio, let's say you're like in shortwave, right? And you'd like to do this, but you think, well, it's a lot of time and study and I'm busy. No, they're really good online study tools. They're wonderful ones. You can get an online study course and just study at your own pace. You could do that. And if you already love to listen to radio from across the world, you are going to dig ham radio. It's going to be so amazing to you, because maybe you just don't want to talk. Maybe a microphone's just not your thing, right? You don't want to talk because maybe you just don't feel like that's just not your communication style. Man, you do some digital modes. Like, you know, if you want to do FT8, your computer makes the calls. And then you just look at the computer and say, man, I'm here in Wyoming and I just called somebody in Africa. Yes, you did, at 35 watts from the antenna that you put and built in your backyard. That's no joke. Seriously. So ham radio is a wonderful hobby. If you have been in shortwave or medium wave, you're DXing, you like to do that. It is not hard to get your license. It is a very simple process, but you have to know where to start. The American Radio Relay League is a great place to help you get started, whether in the U.S. or not. You could be anywhere in the world. Reach them on the contact section of their website at www.arl.org. Great group. You can also find the Japan Amateur Radio League at www.jarl.org in Great Britain. If you've been listening to radio for a long time and you've wondered about being a ham operator, they have an excellent set of books that'll help get you licensed and on the air. Simple, but you've got to start, right? You've got to start. Contact the Radio Society of Great Britain at www.rsgb.org. If you're up in Canada, you make some great calls up in Canada, because Canada has the highest amplifier rate in the entire world. You can go to 2,250 watts in Canada. Believe it or not, no other country can go that many watts in transmit power. That's no joke. Contact the radio amateurs of Canada, www.rac.ca. And if you're down under in Australia, these are great people, and they're going to help you get licensed and on the air. It's a great group. Contact the Australian Communications Media Authority at www.acma.gov.au, and they'll help you get on the air and stop making you just listen and let you transmit, have some fun, okay? It's going to be a great opportunity for you because we're in the middle of a solar cycle that's coming up, and that means sunspots. Sunspots means better communications between 2 points, and that's when you make the longest calls you can make in 11 years. 11 years, no joke. It takes 11 years for the sun to go through an entire cycle of being totally tons of sunspots and great radio propagation to the downward end where it's difficult. That's why FT8 exists, by the way. FT8, FT4, they exist because of the down sunspot we're at right now. It was developed by people to get through when other modes can't, because there's no propagation in sunspots. Our sunspot number at 73 today is not huge. It's a very small number, to be honest. That's a small number at 73. So, once it gets into the 90s and 100s, now we're talking some big stuff. But over on that far right bottom, very quiet conditions, allows you to make some DX calls. So please do that, okay? I want to share, before I go, a few things, because the passion of this channel is to help you get licensed. I don't want you, if you're still in this video, if you've made it this far, my gosh, don't leave now. You're right here. You've made it this far. You've made it this far. Don't go yet. All right. There are some things to help you with your test. Very important things that will be helpful for you to pass your exams. Okay. One of them is the pyramid. And we talked about the pyramid before. Hold on. Hang on. I said if I didn't leave you guys with stuff, I was going to be angry with myself. So this is going to help you get on the air. Okay. This is going to help you. I can't erase this thing. That's great. Okay. So we're going to play along that this thing actually is a clean, dry erase board. Okay. All right. So remember this pyramid. It's going to help you on the test. That's what you do. You come in, you draw a pyramid just like that. All right. This is going to help you with passing license test questions on the technician in general, as well as in the UK on the foundation and intermediate. This will help you, okay? At the very top, you've got voltage. There's your power, okay? So your voltage or pressure is at the top, okay? Then you put a little line right there. So you've separated the 3 little spots here in the triangle. Your resistance goes right there, okay? And then over here is current, okay? Current we use an I for. We don't use C because that's capacitance, okay? So there's your I. Remember that, VIR, okay? If you need voltage, but you've got resistance and current, you multiply them. If you need if you need resistance, you're going to divide voltage by the current, okay? If you need current, you're going to divide voltage by resistance. Remember the pyramid. It'll help you. The other thing is when you're on the bands or asking questions about frequencies, right? You don't know how to do it. You don't know quite what meter band it is because this is all new to you, right? And that would make sense. It really does. Remember this, 300, okay, just the number 300, simple, okay, divided by the frequency. That's all you got to do. Take 300, and they'll let you take a calculator in with you to the test along with scratch paper and a couple number 2 pencils. It's simple. 300 divided by the frequency. And keep in mind, it's not going to be accurate on many bands. For example, 20 meters. 40 meters, 17 meters is not going to be right, but it'll be close. It's going to be close because those meter bands are really set up from a historical perspective, not an accuracy perspective. So please, this is going to help you on many questions on the ham radio exams in both the US and UK. Why am I going through this? Because I'm going to be gone for a little while. And I want you to pass your test if you're going to take it. 300 divided by frequency is important, okay? If you're building an antenna in the US, quarter wave, simple to do, okay? We know that usually the formula is 468 by frequency, right? Okay. Instead of that, do this way. It's more simple. Go 234 divided by frequency. for your antenna cuts. There's your antenna cuts in your radios. You don't have to cut the radios this long. You cut twice as many half this long and have the same thing. But this is a quarter wave. That's a quarter. At 468, it's a half wave. Now, if you want to build a half wave, you're going to have a better antenna, no question. Just double it. It becomes 468. 468 divided by frequency. But you can build your own antennas. You don't need to buy antennas from places. You can build your own with PVC pipe or a fishing rod and a bunch of trees. Build your own stuff. And there's pride that comes out of doing that because you built it yourself. And now all of a sudden you're contacting somebody that's in India and you're like, holy crud, this antenna really works because you did it the right way. 234 divided by frequency. That's for a quarter wave. Okay. That's a quarter wave vertical. Okay. If you want to go, a half wave, it then becomes 468. This is for measuring antennas and for radios. Okay. Remember, antenna is like, think of an antenna like your plug in your wall, right? You have the two little slots, plugs in the wall. You have a positive, negative. Same thing with antennas. It's current, just goes out over the air. That's all it does. It's just current going over the air. It has to have a positive carrier and it has to have grounding. So to do that, you have the same amount going up that you have going down. Does that make sense? That's how verticals work. If you have it resonant and your ground is good and your vertical is, the right size, you're going to not need a tuner. It's going to work automatically for you. And the beautiful part is you're going to make calls everywhere with that thing. You will. Just remember those things. It'll help you tremendously. Okay. The other thing, and this is before I go. Part of the way that I passed from 0 to extra was I memorized things in different ways. The Q codes, they're simple to remember. Okay. QRP, Q reduced power. There you go. QRP, Q reduced power. QRM, okay? QR man-made. Q received man-made. That's interference. That means you're getting static, or you're getting, not static, you're getting somebody from another station who's jumped on your frequency and he's causing you trouble, okay? He's too close, okay? Or he's tuning up. That's QRM, man-made. QRN is its cousin, QR environment. That's how I remembered them. Q received environment. QRS, Q receive slower. That means send slower in Morse code. Okay. Those things are going to help you find a connection with the Q codes that is simple for you to remember. You probably will get 1 or 2 of them on your test, but the point is the more little tricks that you remember to remember these things, the better. Learn your band plan wherever you are in the world. Region 1, 2, or 3. Learn the band plan. It's going to help you on your test. You're going to know where you can work and where you can't work and what the meter bands look like. Sometimes the questions that they give you are going to be off of the ham bands. Okay? There's a few on the US I can think of right now where they show 7.5 megahertz. That's not even a ham frequency. That's shortwave. Learn the band plan. It's going to help you tremendously, and they're not that hard to learn. Spend time listening. You can do so with a simple radio like this, or possibly, another kind of short wave like the big Sony I've got back there. Listen on the bands. Learn how they work. Digital CW is always the bottom. Always. Digital and Morse code at the bottom of the band. Always. Then, right about 70 to 90 in that range, meaning, say, for example, 40 meters. Okay? 7.070 to 7.090. Okay, so you're below 7.1 megahertz right there. Digital. That's where your FT8 is, Olivia, Hellschreiber, Thor, Contestia, all those things are there. Digital modes are there. So remember, 76, that was the year of our country's birth in the U.S. If you remember 76, remember that's going to be your digital modes. That's where they are, okay? Find little tricks. Every one of these things will help you pass your test. But I'll tell you this, once you get your license, it's going to be practical knowledge, and you're going to learn 50 times more because you're using it all the time. Using a radio teaches you everything, and you become really proficient at ham radio, and then all of a sudden it clicks. Oh, that's why that was on the test. Study hard. I'm not a substitute for your study. I say it every time because I'm not. I'm just trying to give you tips to help you through your test. But once you get on the radio, promise you treat it with respect. You're a licensed ham radio operator, okay? That's respect. Just like you in your car, you respect people on the sidewalk or on the crosswalks. You don't run them over because doggone you're in a hurry. You got to get to the store, right? No. You respect the license you have. Don't abuse it. Follow the rules. Be kind to each other on the radio. And you're going to find ham radio is one of the coolest experiences you've ever had. I mean that. Okay? Don't get stuck thinking it's too hard. The person that thinks it's too hard gets stuck being satisfied with either a technician or general or a foundation or intermediate license because they just haven't had the time and just don't think it's that they can do it to get to the top license class. Do it. Try it. Don't be afraid. At least take the doggone test to see how well you do. At worst, you're going to fail it. At best, you're going to get it and you have all those frequencies and the world opens up to you. But don't be satisfied with just staying in the middle or at the beginning. Get as high as you can until you get to that point. You'll be excellent at ham radio and you're going to find that the world is wide open, frequencies and power wherever you are. Okay? All right. And last little comment for you before we go, we'll get your final comments. On your station, when you build it from outside in, top, bottom, antenna first, then feed line. Feed line is just as important as the antenna. Quality antenna, feed line is huge. What does that mean? Buy an LMR 400 variant to start with. It's coaxial cable. It's got decent numbers for loss, so you're going to have a good feed line from your transmitter to your antenna. Buy the good antenna up front. Sacrifice the fancy, shiny radio first to get a great antenna. It's well worth it because when you buy that cheaper radio, sure, you're going to be not maybe thrilled because it's not as cool as ones you saw on YouTube, but you're going to have a very good ham radio that's going to work very brilliantly for you, and you're going to be so happy with it. Much happier than you would if you went and spent the big money for the great radio and you got a kind of good antenna. There's a big difference between the two. Buy the good antenna. Put your money, put your full investment if you have to into the antenna. Wait, then buy the feed line, then buy the cheap radio. You can get radios as cheap as $300 or $400, but put your money in your antenna. If you do that, you've already started from the best point you can, and the radio is just going to work like a charm. You're going to have a ball. You won't care the radio is 25 years old because you're going to be making calls all over the world with it, and people are going to be hearing you because you put up a good antenna with your money. Seriously, spend it there. Makes all the difference in the world. All right. Final comments. Michael Galloway enjoying his FTDX10. That's a best radio for the money performance-wise. It is. Absolutely. Trying to sell his VL 1000 Quadra amp. Thinking of Palstar Elecraft. Any advice? I really like the Palstar a lot. I like Elecraft because it's plug and play. They're both similar. I mean, they really are. The Palstar is kind of... Both are expensive. You know, Mike, it depends on what you want to do. I mean, geez, the Elecraft is $6,000. I haven't priced the Palstar lately, so I don't know what the dollar amount on that is. But, you know, the KPA 1500, that's $6,000. So, or $7,000. I think it's $7,000. So, man, I don't know. You know, I honestly, I love this amplifier right here. This is the Ameritron ALS 1306. It's 1200 watts. But you cannot tell the difference between 1200 and 1500. You can't. And it automatically band switches for you. And it will go right to your radio. It connects right to your transceiver. And instead of spending $6,000 or $7,000, you can buy one of those for half the cost of $3,500, get a full warranty on it for a year, and have the money for an antenna. You could buy a Yagi with that. Seriously. For that money, you could buy the Urban Beam, and you could buy this amplifier here, have 1200 watts with direction, for the price of the amplifier. That's what I would do. Me personally. Yeah. Okay, let's go on. Hey man, that's very different. Thank you. Thank you so much. IRB 605. Thanks for the channel. I recently subscribed. Enjoy your time. Thank you so much. It's just going to be a short little break, but thank you. I appreciate it. We'll come back and we'll have a lot of fun. Michael, thank you again for your kindness. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. It's been wonderful to do that. So, and RT City, Ray, we need you back. Good guys are hard to find. Recharge those brain cells too. I'm a back surgery survivor, so I know what pain you're in. Yet you keep nice and smile. Oh man, thank you. This is a nice comment. Thank you. I mean that. You know, There's a wonderful doc who sent me a great letter recently. I read it on the channel. And he's a pain doc. And so he knows what I'm going through here and why I scoot around and move around a lot, because it hurts. That really, the reason I go out, when I'm done with this, I walk for about 2 hours to stretch my back out again so I can walk and move and feel good again. That's what I have to do because I've been sitting too long. You can go through life two ways. You can. Life is simple. You can either go through life understanding every day you wake up is a blessing and a gift that you have to share with others, or you can be frustrated and sad at the world and not live a good life. And then when you get to be older and you look back in your life, say, that sucked. I don't want to do that. Nor should you. Greet each day with a smile. And do one thing. If you do this one thing, your life is going to go up quickly in happiness. You know what it is? And this is off topic, totally off topic, but this is for you personally to help you. It makes, I'm telling you, this works. Yeah, ready for your big self-help tip? Okay. One person each day. Give them a compliment. It could be somebody in the store. You could look at some lady and say, you know, that top looks really nice on you. That's really beautiful. That lady is going to be so thrilled that you said that. That it's going to make her day. And that joy you get back from her is, you're going to have so much pride. You're going to be so happy. Do that once a day. Do that to somebody. Hey, you know what? Your yard is beautiful. I just want to say it's really nice to live in the neighborhood with you because you take good care of your property. Man, that's a good compliment. You give somebody some love, some kindness one time each day and make that a habit of your life is going to be so much happier. You will. You have a ball with it. And so just try and do that. I think you'll find life is pretty darn fun. You will. A compliment a day to a random stranger is beautiful. Yeah. Kevin, Mike 0, M Charlie Lima, ACOM amps worth a look. Had one for a while and thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I've heard good things about ACOM. I haven't used one of their amplifiers for Kev, but I've seen some reviews and they seem to be pretty good. Very straightforward. Follow you on the band. Very good band switching. They do excellent at handling tough SWR bounce backs, from a bad antenna. Seem to be good. So yeah, thanks, Kev. That's good stuff. His call sign, Mike 0, Mike Charlie Lima. He's an advanced class in the UK. We're honored to have you. Thanks, Kev. I tell you, I love this ALS 1306. I do. I love this thing. Now, would I love to maybe have the AL 1500 just to toy with? Because you do know that the 1500, if you don't know, you can really get 2,500 watts out of those things. Easy. No joke. At AL 1500 Ameritron, you can get about 2,500 easy out of that amplifier and not hurt it a bit. It's just basically kind of warming itself up at 2,500 watts. Don't do that because it's outside of legal limit, but I'm just saying that those are fantastic amplifiers. This has been a beauty for me. Ameritron ALS 1306. I cannot highly recommend an amplifier more than that. And that gets you exactly what the ACOM Pallastar and the Elecraft amplifiers do, but it does it at a lot less money and it gives you a lot of power and it's simple. All I do, man, if I've got my rig on like I do right now, like I've got, let's do this. I'm on 20 right now. And I'll just show you real quick. It'll automatically tell what frequency. It's going to come right up here. It's going to light up. See, it's 20. So 20 lights up. Let's say I move over to 6. There's 6. See, wherever I go, it's going to follow me on the bands. Now I'm on 20. Let's go down to 1.8. It's on top band. You see, it just tracks. See the green lights moving around? Does that automatically by itself. There's 60. Here's 17. Okay? It does the same thing. But instead of spending $6,000 or $7,000, you buy one of those for 36 and have money to save for that great antenna, or better yet, maybe a different radio. Never know. But I love that. And there's nothing against Pallastar, Elecraft, or ACOM. Nothing against them. They're great. They're wonderful. I'm just about saving money. That's all. And you get the same warranty that they give you. And I'll tell you, MFJ is really good about their warranties on these. They have been phenomenal for me. So love it. Mike, take care of your back. Thank you. Enjoy your time off. Continue to hold tight to your family. Thank you, my friend. Alpha 7, Mike Oscar, very kind. Thank you. I'm just going to take it easy. Be honest, I'm going to take the next 2 days off from everything. I'm just going to probably play on the Maestro. Seriously, I love that thing. I just won't show it on the channel because I'm bad at flex. But my point is, I'll just play on the radio a little bit, have some fun, and do nothing. Give myself 40 hours to just say it's okay to do nothing. Then on Tuesday, get up and start building the SteppIR. By the way, that's a cool antenna. Oh, Thanks to Stu Foster, Golf 7 Whiskey Alpha Yankee for that. Let me show you real quick. I want to show you a picture of this while we go through a few things. Go through your comments. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Larry, for all you did. God bless you. From Xenia, Ohio. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you. Scott, thank you. Very kind. Martin from Holland, grandson said, what you do for yourself, you take to the grave. What you do for others is what's going to be remembered. That's a good comment. That's a comment of the show. Thank you, Martin. Well done. Yep, well done. Let me show you this picture real quick, because I want to do this before we go, because it's cool. This is a neat little photo. Hold on. This is something that I think is really, really important to remember about life. And I think it's something before I go that I want to share with you that is just so cool, because it's just simple. You're not probably going to get it. You might not get it, because this really isn't about ham radio. But it's about taking a moment to have peace with your life and just let things go. And that's why I'm stopping the shows for now. It's just because I've done them every day for months, and literally I'm just tired. So I'm going to take some time to myself. And the doctor said so. So we're going to follow the doctor. Here's a picture of Jasper. Take a look. This is my dog, Jasper. This is my radio dog. He's with me all the time. See that? See that face? That's pure contentment. Be happy with life. Look around you. See what you've been blessed with. And thank God for it. Be grateful for what you have. Be content like this. This is content. This is totally enjoying the moment. Enjoy your moment. Enjoy life. Have fun. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks. We'll be back. And then hopefully the antenna will be on the roof and spinning around. And the flagpole antenna will be up. We'll be talking about both products. Reviewing both. By the way, the flagpole antenna is pretty cool. It's actually an off-center fed dipole. Did you know that? It's really cool. It's well built. Very good components. This thing is rock star solid. It's amazing. I mean, yes, might be $900, but this thing is really good. I mean, the materials are phenomenal. SteppIR, holy crud, that thing is just, that's amazing. If you don't have a SteppIR antenna, there's a reason why they're so good. And I'm going to show you real quick just the components of a SteppIR Urban Beam. And this is just the components, not including the interior. This doesn't include what comes inside. So this doesn't include the SDA control box, which is here. So essentially the SDA controller, which controls how much of the copper spool is inside the tube to determine, you know, what direction you're using, or 20 or 40 or whatever. So for your antenna, that part is inside, so you control it from there. But what's in the box that goes outside, okay? Pretty cool. Let me show you what the SteppIR stuff looks like. Here's the Urban Beam all spread out. Here's all the parts. So quality materials. I mean, I was really impressed. I mean, sure, these are expensive. I get it. But take a look. I mean, the motors, everything, the seals, the gaskets, these are like car quality stuff. This is like automotive quality with their gasket kit and with the equipment that goes with this antenna. Fantastic. SteppIR Urban Beam. Looking forward to building that for you and showing it. Be fun. Be fun. All right, we're going to close because we need to, and it's time to move out and let you have a good day for your rest of your Sunday. I want to thank you so much for being here along the journey. I know there's tons of YouTube shows out there and tons of content, and it's amazing to me you come here because I'm just a simple dude. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your emails. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your prayers, and thank you for your love. I appreciate it. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. The whole passion here is to help people get on the air. If you want to get on the air and you happen to be in Great Britain, contact the Radio Society of Great Britain at www.rsgb.org. The folks in Australia, find the Australian Communications and Media Authority at www.acma.gov.au. If you're in the U.S., the American Radio Relay League. Hit the Contact Us bar at www.arl.org. Enjoy the sign off. This is a goodbye Kiwi. Yeah, my favorite one. Thought, you know, hey, if I'm going to close, let's close with my favorite sign off. It's from New Zealand. Great sign off. Now, they brought this back. I don't know if you realize this. The Kiwi, because the Kiwi sign off in New Zealand was so popular with people, they actually brought it back into a cartoon series and a children's book. No joke. So that is back now. The Kiwi, because it was so iconic for sign-offs at 11 o'clock at night in New Zealand, as it used to be, that's now come back to life again. The old sign-off, the Kiwi. Here's one of the very last aired Kiwi sign-offs from New Zealand. It's beautiful. Enjoy. Until next time, which will be just a few weeks away, you won't miss me at all. You'll have a great time, and we'll talk. Honey, we'll talk over coffee. We'll have a good time, and together we'll relive some memories and have some fun. My name's Larry. My call sign is Kilo 7 Hotel November. God bless you. Take care of yourself. Until next time, 73's from Oregon. Goodbye, everybody.
Right, that's just about it for this Thursday night. I hope you've enjoyed the whole program this evening. It's just after midnight now. I have to get home before.
And that ain't the sign off. I'm not going to go without the right sign off. I just don't care. Now, see, that's the other problem. We've got to fix the computer. We're working on that. We're working on it. All right. Kiwi sign off. The Kiwi sign off is right here. Here. All right. Until next time. Thanks for watching. Sorry about that. And that's why we're getting your computer. It's part of the problem, too. God bless you. See, everybody, from Kilo 7 Hotel November to each and every one of you around the world, thank you for watching. Sincerely. Bye, everybody.
That's all, folks.